What's good, HG fam, it's your boy Mo, and today we are going to be talking about one of the most iconic logos in the entire world. That's right, it is the Jumpman, the Air Jordan logo. Now this logo is known by everyone, everywhere, from the sneakers to the clothes to the billboards. You know, you see the Jumpman and it's iconic. Everybody knows Michael Jordan. But did you know the story behind where this logo originates from, and also how difficult it is to recreate the pose that MJ is doing? Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're about to dive into the story of where the logo comes from, why it's used, and how you can recreate it yourself. The iconic silhouette is taken from a 1985 photo shoot, the year the first Air Jordan 1 came out. But did you know that this wasn't actually the first time that Michael Jordan had been photographed doing the iconic pose? A year before the Air Jordan 1 was released, and just before he signed with Nike, Michael Jordan did a photo shoot with Life magazine ahead of the 1984 Olympic Games in LA. This was the first time that the iconic Jumpman has been seen, and he was actually wearing a pair of New Balance sneakers in that photo. If you're an OG and you managed to get your hands on one of the first ever pairs of Air Jordan 1s, they actually came with a hang tag featuring the Nike version of the picture. But Peter Moore, the original designer of the Air Jordan 1, preferred the New Balance picture and wanted to use that. Unfortunately, due to copyright, they could not. The Air Jordan 1s and 2s featured the Wings logo and not the Jumpman logo, and they didn't actually feature on a Jordan sneaker until Tinker Hatfield came along and designed the Air Jordan 3. The 3s were the first Jordan sneaker that featured the now iconic elephant print design, and they were also one of the first Nike sneakers to have the visible air bubble in the sole. But more importantly than those two, they were the first Jordan to have the Jumpman logo, and it featured on the tongue. The logo has remained unchanged since then and is now known all around the world. But do you know how difficult it is to recreate the iconic Jumpman pose that Michael Jordan does in the logo? Now, when I say recreate, I don't mean something similar. I mean pose in exactly the way that his airness did back in that original Nike photo shoot. Well, I tried my hand at it, and this is what happened, and I can tell you right now that I can tell why Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, and I'm not, because, well, say no more, just have a look at what happened. So to recreate the Jumpman logo, the first thing you need is a picture of yourself, and you've got to cut yourself out. I tried to do it on the green screen, but I'm a little too big for the green screen, so as you can see here, I'm just trying to cut myself out and get that same kind of pose that Michael Jordan has. So you want the one hand up in the air holding the ball, you want the other hand kind of down, your legs spread kind of apart, but I couldn't spread them too far because otherwise I would have just fallen down. I can't do the splits and that. I'm not a gymnast, but there you go. You have your silhouette. You then bring in the Jumpman, and then that's the part where I realized that I've got the ball in the wrong hand and I've done this incorrectly. So we're going to have to take a look and see if we can flip it round and get it to work. But, you know, my face should be facing the hand with the ball and I've got it in the other one. So it's all kind of a shambles, but just stay with me here because we'll work with it. We'll make it work because there's no way that I'm getting up and doing that picture all over again because, well, hey, we're in the video now. So I'm just trying to flip it round, but as you can see, it does not work. So we're actually going to have a Jumpman logo with the face facing the wrong way, but given that it's a silhouette and my head is quite round like a basketball itself, you know, maybe you won't be able to notice. So let's try and work with it. What I'm going to do is continue trying to flip it because for some reason I'm still trying like a fool, but I'm just lining up my head with Michael Jordan's head, and I'm going to use the puppet warp feature on Photoshop. So you can see I can go to the puppet warp and it allows you to basically control yourself as a puppet as if you've got strings attached. So you create the set points on your joints where you want to move, and then it allows you to distort them. So I've just put some points in like my feet, ankles, knees, and all the other joints in my body. I didn't do med school, so I don't really know the technical names for them, but you know, shoulders, elbows. Ladies, let me see you get down low with the head, shoulders, knees and toes. Anyway, so I'm lining up the points because then I'll be able to drag them, and as you can see, I start dragging the basketball into the place where the basketball was. I'm going to use that as a base point and then shift everything else. I've made myself a little bit more transparent so I can see the Jumpman underneath. And I'm just moving, trying to match my set points with where MJ's are. So there's my shoulder and my elbow, trying to match them up to kind of get that same perspective. I'm going to drag my head down here a little bit. And obviously I'm facing the wrong way, but we're not going to talk too much about that. We're just going to keep it rolling and try and recreate this logo anyway. So I'll move the elbows, the wrists and the hand. I should have flared my fingers out like that. But, you know, bringing the knees in, and here's the part where this is why I can't jump as high as Jordan. My legs don't stretch that far, and as you can see, it's looking a bit mad with me having done that myself. So just going to fine tune some of the details here for you. Get my chest and my hips all aligned with his airness himself in the logo. So I think it's coming into shape. You can see kind of the outline is very similar. I'm obviously a bit wider. Need to hit the gym and shred up a little bit before summer, but we're working with the best that we've got. You know, put that ball exactly where it is, and then I can bring the opacity back in. What is going on, bruv? Look at me. Look at me. It looks like I'm melting into the floor. As you can see, it's the same pose, but doing the same pose as Michael Jordan does, and bear in mind, he's doing this in midair, is all sorts of crazy. You can see how mad I'm looking with my legs hitting together as I slide and look like I'm melting into the floor like one giant caramel ice cream. My arm's even wonky. That should be a little bit straighter, but you know, I guess I need to hit the weight room and hit the gym. So, you know, there is the JumpMo, not the Jumpman. That's the JumpMo. I'm going to try and make myself into a silhouette. Now, I'm not going to draw it. I'm just going to go into some of the image settings and play around with that to try and black out the image. Nope, I clicked the wrong one. I'm having a shocker today, fellas. You got to stay with me. The daily uploads are a lot harder than you think. But anyway, let's get into this. The exposure. Nope, that is the wrong way. I've made myself completely invisible. Let's go back the other way, and there you have the JumpMo silhouette. You know, what do you got? Would you rock some garms with the JumpMo? Do you think the Jumpman Michael Jordan would be as iconic if it had the JumpMo? Well, let's put me on a pair of kicks and see if it looks quite as iconic. We'll go for the Jordan 3s, you know, the original pair that had the first ever Jumpman on. Let's grab a pair of them, put them into Photoshop and add my logo. So there it is. I've got to obviously remove the Michael Jordan. There I am. Whoops. Shrink myself down a bit to kind of match the size of the logo and get rid of the Jumpman. Sorry, MJ. I don't mean to do it to you, but away you go. Just going to cut him out right here using the content aware fill. And bing, bang, bosh. Press the fill, press the OK button. And there he is. He's gone. If you're wondering how the Insta baddies look nice in all their pictures, that's the technique they used for the spots on their face. But anyway, there is the JumpMo. Would you cop the JumpMo 3s? I don't know. Personally, I would be very unhappy if I received a sneaker like this. But you guys tell me in the comments. What are we saying? JumpMo, Jumpman, what are you telling me? So there we have it. There is the JumpMo, just like the Jumpman. I've tried to recreate the pose, and as you can see, I failed miserably. There's a reason why only Michael Jordan is the most iconic player in the world with that logo, and no other player silhouettes come close. I know Shaq has tried and LeBron and everyone's tried to do their own thing, but the Jumpman is the Jumpman for a reason. MJ, you know, everything is Jordan. You can see the number of Jordan boxes I've got. That's not even the whole collection. But if you're still here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're following Hoop Genius on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere online. We're active. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell as well, so you get notified when you get that daily video, because I'm just trying to keep everyone entertained while we're in this lockdown. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. It's been a pleasure having you and laughing at my design expertise, I guess, because I'm by no means an expert and I'm by no means in the same shape as Michael Jordan. So anyway, you guys at home, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, get buckets.